If you haven't worn it in 6 months, get rid of it. That is exactly the kind of nonsense that I used to spill when I first started my organizing journey. If you go back to any of my old TV shows, you're going to see tips like that. And what I will say to you is 20 years into my career, I 1000% do not agree with those things. And the reason why is simple because life is complicated. We are complicated. And when it comes to the clothes in our lives, this is one of the most emotional, challenging, intricate areas of our life and home to organize. And the reason for that is because the clothing closet and the clothes that are within it are all part of our personal creative expression. It's who we show ourselves to the world as. It's how we identify ourselves. It's the ways that we are actually like showing up in our lives and showing up in our world, and it's expressing our personality and our desires. We are really like, it's like the armor that goes on before we go into battle every day at work. It's the creative part of ourselves that wants to feel beautiful and expressive and lovely and flowery. It's whoever you are is demonstrated so much through the physical clothes that we wear. Now, this area of our life, this clothing closet, is also often the center of our body image. So if you are feeling great about yourself, you might love the clothes in your closet. You might feel incredible and beautiful and glorious when you get dressed and leave the house. And if this has been a struggle for you, if you are struggling to make peace with your body or understand what's going on, or if you're in some sort of transition or flux, this area can feel very, very stressful and emotional and scary. And what I want to use this as a great example of is that oftentimes when we have clutter, and clutter is defined as just more than we would prefer, right? It's excess stuff. It's beyond, like having things beyond the amount that we think we should have or desire to have. When we have a buildup of clutter, oftentimes it's not showcasing that there's something wrong with you. It's not showcasing that you're doing it all wrong or something should be fixed. It's showing you that you're in the middle of making peace with something. It's showing you that you are in the middle of figuring something out in your life. Now, for me, clothing is a big thing that I am solving, not just today, but for honestly most of my life. My body weight has always fluctuated, and I have really struggled to figure out what is the body that I am really making peace with? Is it the one that's at my slimmest weight? Is it the one at my heaviest weight? Like, neither of those feel easy and effortless to me. So where does my body lie? And so there is a big journey for me around my body, around making peace, around knowing like what clothes do I need to keep? What are the things that I want to have around me? Because I will tell you, if my body is going to go back up a few pounds, I want to have those clothes for that. I don't want to have to buy a whole new wardrobe. If my body's going to go back down again, I want to have the clothes for that. Like jeans are expensive, bras are expensive. This is just practical. Now, this isn't even taking into account if there's any kind of scarcity or lack issues around like making sure that you have the money to buy clothes. That can make people want to hold on to clothes even more. Right? So when we look at the reason why we have clutter, oftentimes it's really built in with making sure our needs are met, making sure that we are okay. And there is nothing wrong with that. And good for you for finding ways to really make sure that you are okay. And it is complicated to go and look at the world of organizing when everybody is saying, if you haven't worn it in 6 months, if it doesn't fit, get rid of it. I will just show you. Let me just tip back. At the top of my closet, you will see all these lovely boxes. These are clothes I cannot fit in. And I'm going to tell you a shockaroonie, I'm not getting rid of them because even though I cannot fit into them, they're not that far away and I'm not ready to. And I just want to name for you, it is okay if you are in transition. It is okay if you are making peace with yourself. It is okay if you need to hold on to things a little bit longer than mainstream organizing wisdom is telling you you should. You are allowed to. Only you know what you need to keep. But what I will say that we can start to do is we can start to really be honest with ourselves about the parameters around what we're keeping. So for me, a lot of these boxes, I put things in when I kind of, stop being able to fit in them. And I haven't looked at them since. So I know that certain boxes are certain weights for me that I can't access right now. And that's fine. But what I haven't done, what I need to do, what you might need to do too, is set some clarity around like what is realistic. So for example, Are you sure that you're never going to wear something that's ripped again? Or stained again? Or maybe truly out of fashion again? Or maybe there's just some styles you don't like. This is a sweatshirt. I cut the neck out because I don't like anything close on my neck. I never have. It's not for me. So anything that's like a turtleneck or mock turtleneck, I don't care how cute it is, how interesting it is, how great for winter it is. That's not for me. So are there parameters like that you know that you can let go of things fully, not because they don't fit, but because you know that that doesn't work for you? This might be colors, it might be styles, it might just be that it's stained. Now, another category that could fall within that, section of items that you can just release is if you really look and you're honest with yourself, is there a weight that you think that you're probably not going to be at again? Some of the clothes that are in the boxes in this closet, I was pretty much sick. Like my hair was falling out, I was malnourished when I could fit into that size. If I'm honest, I do not see myself fitting into that size again because I was not healthy at that time. Right? I was not well. That is not a weight that my body is at when it's well. So those are items that I can release. So I will say, instead of you going through with some arbitrary, get rid of it if you haven't worn it in 6 months, if it doesn't fit you right now, get rid of it. Instead of sticking with those rules, knowing that you might get back in those clothes again, instead make a list of your deal breakers. What are the styles you're not into anymore? Like I mentioned with the high necks, are there colors that don't work for you? Are there memories that don't work for you? I cannot tell you how many people that I've worked with who have items of clothing hanging in their closet that feel like visitations to their trauma. I've had that myself. Items that remind you of a bad moment in your life, or maybe it's an item that you were wearing when something traumatic happened to you, like an assault or some sort of attack. You do not have to keep those. And even the items, like if there are items that bring you joy, but you don't wear them, like we want your closet to be super functional. So if there are items that you love that bring you joy, but you don't wear them, you can take those out and put them into a memorabilia box. They're going to probably be stored a lot better in there. And it's going to open up the space for you to be able to access the clothes that you need and want to wear. What I want for you is to have a closet that is filled with things that bring you joy. And ideally, having the clothes that you can actively wear right now out. I am totally okay, as you know, with boxing things up and putting things away for later, items that are out of season, that things you can't fit in right now. That is totally okay. But what I want is for you that when you go to get dressed, you know that every single thing that's here will actually fit you so that it's not as stressful, it's not as overwhelming. I do not like going and trying on clothes and being reminded that I'm 20 pounds heavier than I used to be or that I prefer to be. So those are put away because I don't want to remember that. I don't want to experience that. What I want is to love and accept myself exactly as I am because this is my body today and I don't want to beat her up. She does so many good things for me. She carries me around. She does millions of things I don't even know about to keep us healthy, alive, thriving. I want to love her. I want to dress her in ways that make us feel good, that make her comfortable. I do that by eliminating anything that doesn't fit and only keeping things out, hanging in my closet or in my drawers that I love and that I want access to now. If you choose to do a purge of the clothes that you're not wearing, that can actually be quite easy because it's not like, oh, I can try that on. And most of the times, if we've had those clothes, we know that they fit our bodies at the different weights. What we can do is that we can look with a more discerning eye and really see, okay, this is stained. You know what? That's actually a style that I will never wear again. Wow, this is really worn out. And you can start to eliminate those items from your storage, from your closet right now. So there's two different things that you can do when it comes to organizing your closet. One, you can remove the things that you no longer wear and store them away and make sure that you do the purge that we talked about, eliminating anything that's stained, not a style you like, not a color you like, or has a funky memory attached to it. Keeping only the things out that you love in your closet that you can wear right now. Really giving yourself that freedom to say, I am going to love myself by giving myself things that I can wear right now with no stress, no headache, no barrier to entry. And then things that you can't wear can be put away and they're there and accessible for you and ready to wear when and if that time comes. And if you decide that later you want to release them, that's totally fine. But you don't have to do this any faster than you want to. This is your journey. It's your life. Wear what you want, keep what you want. If you need to keep your size 4s because they're a binky for you to feel safe, keep your size 4s. If you need to keep your size 18s because they make you feel safe, keep your size 18s. You create and curate the home that supports you, that feels good to you. All these arbitrary rules do not matter. It's what works for you, what you need. And I will always support that every single day. If you want to share your own personal journey with your clothing closet, comment below and let me know the item that you struggle with the most when it comes to getting organized. And I will see if I can add a little help and support for you along your journey. If you want more tips and organizing tricks for your clothing closet and beyond, subscribe and join me on this beautiful organizing journey. Thanks so much for being here.